I wanted to send a quick video because you've probably heard about the changes that Yahoo and Gmail and I think some other inboxes have been making in terms of, making sure that only verified domains send emails, and they're going to be a lot more strict about which emails land on your inbox versus on spam and similar things. So you can learn more about those changes on the internet. ConvertKit sent an email about it as well. And it's looking a little bit like a headache, and I know some people are having issues figuring this out, especially if you're not very techy. So I wanted to send a video of how to do it in case it helps. Now I'm going to be doing it like step by step with the platforms that I use, so that you may have to adapt it to the tools that you use, but hopefully it will be close enough if you use different tools. So for me, I use ConvertKit, and my domain is right now it's routed through Cloudflare. So those are the ones that I'm going to be using. Okay. So I'm here in one of my ConvertKit accounts for my art business, not my actual marketing business. So let me show you how to do it. So first of all, you want to go into your settings. So that's where I'm at. And then you want to navigate towards the email tab here. So once you're there, you will be able to see this, and it will say verified sending domains. And it says that they don't recommend it for people that don't send at least 5,000 messages per month. But ConvertKit actually hosted a webinar about this, and they said, we can't guarantee that, the inboxes like Gmail and Yahoo won't start applying the same limits and restrictions even if you send fewer than 5,000 messages per month. So even then they decided, okay, let's just apply it to everybody, and they were suggesting that you make the decision, but I think it's best that we just go ahead and do it. Because hopefully if you're not at the point where you're sending 5,000 messages per month, you will get there soon enough. So yeah, why not do it now? Okay, so if you decide that you want to do it, this is how you do it. So the first thing you're going to do is click verify your domain. And here you're going to input your domain name without anything. So just like the root domain, so like paintingdreamscapes.com, no www or subdomains or anything else, just the bare domain basically, paintingdreamscapes.com. Let's click next. And this is the records that we need to add to our DNS records in order to verify our domains. Okay, so these are the records that we need to use. So now what we need to do is find out where to put these records in, which may just drive you bananas, but it should be fairly easy. So right now my domain is, I have them through Namecheap, but I am running them through Cloudflare for multiple benefits, like not having to pay for an SSL certificate because Cloudflare gives you one for free. So maybe this is your chance to move or route your domains through Cloudflare, but that's a video for another day. Anyway, I'm using Cloudflare. Maybe you have your domain with Namecheap, but it's pointing to SiteGround as your hosting. Maybe you own the domain in SiteGround and also your hosting is in SiteGround. This is your situation. So where is your domain hosted? So is it Namecheap, GoDaddy, Cloudflare? Cloudflare also sells domains. So, and then the question is, where is your website hosted? So maybe you have it in SiteGround. So what you need to do is go to the place where your domain or your DNS records are hosted. So it's likely going to be in SiteGround, or it's going to be in GoDaddy, the place where your DNS records are. So if I go to my Namecheap account, it's going to point that my DNS records are pointing to Cloudflare. Now this is a more complicated system, and why I also wanted to create a video, because if you're using Cloudflare like I am, then that could be more complicated than if you just had like a name registrar like for your domain and then your hosting. That should be much easier. But anyway, so go into SiteGround, go into Namecheap hosting, go to whatever it is that your domain is pointing to, and then you will adjust the DNS records. Okay, now that I'm in Cloudflare, because that's where my domains are routed through, I'm going to just choose my domain, and then I'm going to go into the left sidebar and click on DNS and click to expand, and then go into records. Great. So now you can see a bunch of stuff in here, and it's kind of scary to look at all of that, but don't worry too much about it. All we need is to just add these two records here. So I'm going to go click add record, and then I'm going to click the CNAME. So let's see, CNAME. Okay, great. And now I'm going to, let me just close this page. I'm going to copy this one. So copy, come back, paste it in the name field, and then we're going to go back, copy the value, come back, paste it. And now, very important, if you're using Cloudflare. If you're not using Cloudflare, you don't need to bother with this step. It's not even going to be available on your end. But if you're using Cloudflare, you must disable this. So you want it to say DNS only, and then the TTL, just leave it on automatic. So okay, we've copied and pasted both of these records, and then disable the proxy, so it's DNS only. So I'm going to click save, and I'm going to do the absolute same thing. Click add record, CNAME, come back to ConvertKit, copy, paste it in the name field, copy the value, paste it in the target section, and then disable the proxy, and then click save. And for now, it should be good to go. So we're going to go back to ConvertKit and click validate. And then now it says domain validation successful. Hooray! It was very, very easy. So the last thing we need to do is add the DMARC policy. So very similarly, but this time it's a text type. So I'm going to come here, click add record, and select TXT, text. And now I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Same thing with the TTL, and then in the content I'm going to copy the policy. So ConvertKit basically explains this policy. This means that you have a DMARC policy that allows, protects you a little bit against phishing and people spoofing you and your address and pretending to be you. But right now they recommend that we start with a less restrictive policy, which is basically to not have one. So we have one, but it's not doing anything, so that's why it says P equals none. So when we test this, it's going to say that it's not like fully secure against phishing and things like that, but it's okay. We can always increase this later on as we begin to send more and more emails. So this is not a permanent thing, but they recommend starting with this one for now. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to click save. And that should be it. So we have our 3 records here. And now I'm going to click finish. Now we don't have to do anything else. So I closed out of that, and you can see that my domain has been verified. And if I click to show the DNS records, it shows them here. And I can add more domains if I were using multiple domains with my ConvertKit account, which I'm not. Okay, so now we can just go ahead and check that everything looks good, and by that we're going to go into a web that ConvertKit recommended called Dmacian. Okay, here we are, dmacian.com, and I'm going to run my domain, paintingdreamscapes.com, and I'm going to check. Okay, so it's already saying this, but don't be worried. This is totally normal, and I will explain why very shortly. But first of all, you can see that my SPF and DKIM records are valid. So you can see lots of stuff in there, but these two are approved, and DMARC is showing kind of like an error, which is not really an error. So let me explain why. Your domain has a valid DMARC record, but the DMARC DMARC policy does not prevent abuse of your domain by phishers and spammers. So you can see that the policy here is the one that I put before, and this is the one we need to have right now. If you are a very large account with like sending to thousands upon thousands of subscribers, maybe you need a different policy. You can check in with your email service provider to see which policy they recommend so that they can like restrict any emails that pretend to be you and then reject them, not even let them hit the customers' inboxes. But for now, if you're just a small creator with a small list and you're not sending thousands of emails every day or every month, stick with this. So that's why it's showing that we're not protected against abuse, because our policy says, you know, we have this verification in process, but let's not do anything with any emails like that. So this is the safest way for us to do it right now, so that our own emails don't land in people's spam folders. So once we have like a higher sender reputation, once we start sending to many more subscribers and send more emails per month, and you probably want to change the policy to, you know, be more strict about it. So for example, even in the webinar, they did this where they even checked, let me see if I can do it, ConvertKit.com. And you can see that it also says that for ConvertKit.com. So this is totally cool. So they also have like this, basically the non-policy enabled. So yeah, so you can see that we are good to go. We have the SPF and the DKIM enabled, so we are good to go. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Good luck implementing this, and yeah, bye.